Hey everybody. Hey everybody who's been following me on Facebook and Twitter, who's been watching my lives, the Entrepreneur Live Show. It is just me, Rose, going solo today. And normally I go solo every Thursday, which I will be going live tomorrow with the Entrepreneur Live Show. I will be going live, so make sure you guys check it out at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 3 hours if you're Eastern Time. I'm going to have a really great guest tomorrow that I want you guys to all jump in and watch. So if you're watching, whether it be Twitter, LinkedIn, tomorrow, Thursday, the Entrepreneur Live Show. But I'm going live today solo, just me. And so I'm here really just to share with you guys. I'm really happy and excited about my new book, my first book, maybe my only book. I don't know. But whatever the case, I wrote a book and I was able to put together all the knowledge from what I've learned from people I've worked with, CFOs, CPAs, financial advisors, from my education, working in the accounting industry for many, 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 many years. And I put together a really easy, instructional book, paperback, that I think just about any business owner can use. So if you are starting a business or maybe you are in business, I think it's a great tool for you. So I want to kind of share with you guys some of the content in my new book. So, and you can get it on Amazon or you can get it on my website. And if you go to my website, actually, you can go page for page and look at all the contents in my book so that you will know what you are getting before you buy it, right? So you can go to my website and we're going to go through the book right now really quickly, just so you guys will know what's in the inside of the book. So I think it's really great to share so you don't get a book that you don't have use for or that you may not need or thought was something else. So I'm going to share with you what is in the book. So you can check it out, get it on Amazon or get it on my website, and we're going to go through it now. So if you go through my website, the website is going to flip page for page of all the contents in my book so you know what you're getting. So my first book, very excited, and it's called The I's and T's of Starting a Successful Business. And, this is just to everybody and congratulating you for taking a huge step and milestone and starting your business, or maybe you're about to start a business or want to start a business. And some of the content that you're going to find in this book, they're so easy. It isn't going to be difficult. So I'm going to go through some of the pages to give you an idea of what's in the book. So, of course, we're going to start off with the glossary where you'll be able to see, do you need a bookkeeper? Why you need a bookkeeper? What a bookkeeper does. You'll have questions on what you should be asking your bookkeeper, your tax person, your accountant. And these are questions that are going to help you in knowing what direction to go in your business, as well as business banking, the different types of business banking, and making sure that you start the right bank account, with the right banks, what you should be asking, what you should be looking for when getting a business bank account, what kind of bank account you need, and what you need to have in place. It also provides information having to do with business credit and establishing business credit. And then separating your personal and business financials, something called piercing the corporate veil. So I'm going over all the contents that will be inside the book that's inside the book, so you know what you will be getting if you purchase my book. And you can actually, again, go to my website, mcdonald-bookkeeping.com, and you will be able to flip the pages and actually look at the book to make sure, is it something that you could use in your business? Because I would not want anyone to buy a book and not be able to use it. So we're going to go over everything that I'm going to have in the book, and also business financials, what that consists of, legal protection, that's mentioned in the book, accounting methods that you would be using, and we're going to go through some of the pages, record keeping, how will you get paid, and these are some of this is the content that you're going to find in the book that will help you if you have a business or starting a business. So let's go to the next page, and then we're going to go through everything in the book. So let's start off with, now we're going to go to chapter 1, about if you need a bookkeeper, why you need a bookkeeper, and what they do. And so, and what bookkeepers do that will help you, or if you're a do it yourself kind of person and you're wanting to maintain your books yourself, then these are questions that you should be asking your accountant, your CPA, things that will help and direct you in maintaining your own books. Then we'll go to chapter 2. These are questions that you should be asking your bookkeeper, your CPA, who's ever working on your books, your accounting person. And these are some basic questions that you should be able to, it's going to direct you in your business and what you should be doing, from do I need payroll? How do I register for payroll? Do I need insurance? What types of insurance will I need? What type of insurance will I need for my specific legal structure, and types of payroll, and how will you run payroll? That is on chapter 2, with many other questions: tax obligation, collecting tax, sales tax, nexus, reducing your tax bill. These are the types of questions that you should be asking your bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, or if you're wanting to learn. These are things that you should be asking yourself in maintaining the structure of your accounting. And then it also goes over your business banking, how to choose the right bank and the different types of banks that there are and what they offer. So what's important is, what does the bank offer for your business? Are you going to be e-commerce? Are you going to need a POS system, a point of sale system? Or do they have merchant services? And what are the costs of the merchant services? Is it directly through that bank, or are they using a third party? So chapter 3 is going to give you questions on what you should be doing and looking for when you get your business banking and start a business bank account. And of course, what type of account you need, and the different types of accounts that there are with business banking, which people sometimes don't understand. But if you actually sit with a bank teller, and you really should already know the structure of your business and what you want to do and have some forecasting, then you'll know what kind of bank account you should start off with. So some people just open up a business bank account, but not really understanding the type of account that they should have. So making sure that you are a clear understanding of knowing the structure of your business, where you intend to go with your business, what you want to do. And so this is, again, chapter 4, where it's talking about what type of business bank account you'll need. And then we will go to chapter 5. It's going to talk about your business credit and establishing business credit. Then for chapter 6, separating business and personal financials and why, and it's going to explain that to you. And very brief, really easy. It's kind of like an easy to read guide for entrepreneurs and startups, and why you should be separating them. You never want to pierce the corporate veil. And these are things that you should also be asking your bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, and you want to be very clear, so you'll understand when you separate business from personal, if your business is really making money or not. And then chapter 7, legal protection, and what you will need for your type of business when in legal protection. So the different types of insurance. People sometimes don't understand you can be a home business and there's insurance for home businesses, whether or not if you have employees working virtually, or if you have a brick and mortar and you have employees, or maybe if you're selling products and commerce, what types of insurance on that? Are you selling on a third party site? Do you need insurance for the product that you're selling for protection there? So these are questions that you should ask that are in the book. And then there's chapter 8, going over accounting methods and understanding the difference of cash and accrual accounting. So these are great tips for you for what you're going to be utilizing in the accounting methods for your business if you're not already doing so. And then, of course, chapter 9, record keeping, and what types of records you should keep when it has to do with your tax return and your business, and how long you should keep those records. So it really gives a whole outline of everything that you need. Really easy. I made it very simple. And of course, then chapter 10, and that is how you're going to get paid. Sometimes it's easy for them to just go to PayPal and stuff like that, but you should really do your research and know if it's fit for your business. Also, what the cost effectiveness is going to be and the fees, because you want to make sure that whatever you're selling, whatever product or service, how are those fees going to affect your bottom line that reduce your revenue. Because you always want to account for those fees. If you're going to have mobile card readers, or if you're going to have do everything online where people can pay right online from your invoice. So that's on chapter 10. And then, of course, chapter 11, we're going to go over gift tax, which a lot of people, I work with a lot of quite a few businesses, and at the end of the year, they want to get rid of a lot of money, and understanding how gift tax works and if that's beneficial to you, and when is the right time to do that. And then, of course, your tax obligations, chapter 12, everything from self-employment tax, income tax, sales tax, FICA, if you have payroll. And when you're due to pay that, if that's applicable to your business, and when that's applicable from the geographical location, the legal structure, the products you provide or service, and how you conduct your business. So, of course, chapter 12, tax obligation. And then chapter 13, going over some really cost-cutting ways to kind of keep your costs low and what to look for that a lot of people don't see. And sometimes when you're doing your daily bookkeeping at the end of the month, and you may not realize, because everything is kind of grouped in a lump sum, and you really want to make sure that these are where you are really spending your money, to make sure that you make the money where you should make it. And sometimes people don't realize that if they don't have the right markup, they're losing money. So chapter 13 is cost-cutting ideas for your business that you could utilize, and how you can get discounts and paying early, and inbound marketing, switch from different types of lines of credit and funding. So these are all types of cost-cutting ideas to help you in your business and saving money. Everything is pretty clear. I made it very clear in my book. It's very easy to read, easy to understand. Then we get to chapter 14, questions that you should be asking yourself while you're running a business and you're in business. So startups need to be something that you can make profit for doing and delivering for yourself. First you want to ask yourself things like, would you buy the product or the service? Is it something that everybody needs or want? Is it a need or a want? And so for my business, it's a need and not a want, because people need to, they need their accounting, they need their book, they need to do taxes. So my business is a need business, not necessarily a want. And some businesses, like maybe if you are selling product, it's not a need, it's a want. There's some products that are definitely a need that people need in a business, like computers and PCs. There's a high demand for it in running a business. Internet, there's a high demand for it in running a business. Office supplies, there's a high demand for it. Do you necessarily need extra things like, I don't know, paper clips? Not necessarily. If you're a retailer, is it a need or a want? So knowing what type of business that you are going to start, understand the need and the want, because especially when we're in recession, or people are losing jobs, or certain times of the season, are people going to buy it? Are they going to need it or want it? Can they just do without it? So those are questions you should be asking yourself, and really doing the math, and will your customers pay enough to cover the cost for you to make a profit? So that need and want is really important. And how different is your idea from the next business? And they're different. How painful is a problem you intend to solve? So already foreseeing issues. Maybe it's with shipping, maybe it's with quality. Maybe you might sell something of one color, but people might want different colors. Are you prepared to get those other items or colors? Or are you prepared to work with another business that you can refer them out? I provide bookkeeping services, and if there's something that I don't do, or I'm too busy and I can't take on another client, I already have 3 businesses that I refer other clients to, that I have already utilized, that I have on my list. So it's not turning away business to me. It's me, sending consumers to another service, and they may provide the same service, they may provide similar service, but then that's something that they'll do for me. And remember that, Rose, I don't think I'm the only bookkeeping service out here. So of course I'm going to refer other people. And those are things you should look at, like who you're going to kind of, if you're a retailer and you're selling makeup, but you don't sell, I don't know, I'm just making this up, lipstick. Do you know somebody that you can refer them to? That's another small business owner. So you guys can piggyback and help each other. So those are things that you should be asking yourself. That's in chapter 14, with a list of questions that you should ask yourself realistically. If why you're in business, and how you're going to establish and setting up a business, what you're going to do, what your business is going to do. So that's on chapter 14. And so there's a list of questions you should be asking yourself, and you will find that in my book. And of course, and then chapter 15 of my book, creating your business plan, figuring out the money. Are you going to have a support system? The support system doesn't necessarily have to be financial. The support system can be just motivating and helping you and getting information, just resourceful. It doesn't have to be financial, but that's in chapter 15 of my book, Choosing a Business Name. How do you choose a business name, and making sure that if somebody else already has a business name, especially local businesses. And if you're going to trademark that name, which is important, and if it's necessary, and start forecasting if you're going to trademark, registering your domain. Does somebody already have that domain? Do you have to change the name to tweak it a little bit? So all of these things you need to consider when starting a business, all in my book. It's legal structure, LLC, limited liability, partnership, everything is in my book, and makes it very easy, very clear. And as I said, you can go right to my website, and you can actually go page for page, and you can flip and look at the book to see the contents of the book. And as I said, you can also download the digital PDF copy on my website, and or you can also go to Amazon. But this is giving you a sneak peek of everything in the book. And then about when you're setting up your company, about a limited liability company, what that is, about an S Corp, everything that you would need to know, and how, and if you are an S Corp or a C Corp, paying payroll, adding yourself and paying yourself on payroll. So all that's in the book. That's part of chapter 15. I think that I made the book really easy to read, easy to form, an easy guide. And then, of course, some real common mistakes that people make in small businesses, but also definition. Definition is really important, because some people don't understand. Like when I work with clients and I tell them I use certain accounting terms, they don't know what I'm talking about. So definitions are our key. So I give a list of definitions so that people understand what is an asset. What do you see on a balance sheet? So if you're a small business owner, these are things that you should be looking at and understanding your financials. If you are doing it yourself, maybe you're learning yourself. This is a great book for do-it-yourself people. It's going to tell you what equity is, and the denotes of equity, and how your equity is valued. Everything from your income statement and cost of goods, and if you really have a cost of goods or not, and gross margins and markups and stuff like that. So I wanted to come on quick to share with you guys my first book that I've ever written. And this is a guide for startup. It's super, super easy and simple. And it is something that I think any startup business owner could utilize. And its success never ends. That's what my book is about. And it's everything that has to do with starting a business. And if you have worked with me, or maybe you haven't worked with me, just about anybody knows, if you check my referral, you check my reviews, people can call me and they ask me questions. I answer the questions. I don't charge for simple questions. And I took a lot of and going back to the beginning of the book, on everything that is inside of the book, so you can see what you're getting. As well as I said, you can go to my website, mcdonald-bookkeeping.com, and you can literally flip through all of these pages to see the exact content of what is inside the book. But this is when I get people who call me quite often. When I put this book together, I thought of the questions that people ask me when I'm consulting with new clients, or people who just might have questions. I get quite a few referrals from Intuit, from QuickBooks. I also work in partner with QuickBooks, and people ask me these questions. So I decided to put this into book form. That way, because these are the basic journal questions that usually people are asking me when they're calling me. And it's like, I'm starting a business, and do I need a business banking or credit line? And that I usually have to talk to them and ask, well, tell me about your business. This book answers those questions. Should I be an LLC and just be or an S Corp or a C Corp? And this gives you the definitions of what when you start your business, how you should set up your business, and the questions that you can ask yourself. All of that is in the book, and it's explaining what an S Corp is, LLC, partnership. It explains everything and the definitions of what they are and the legal structure, so you know the proper way when setting up your business. I found that some people will go right in and set up an LLC, and then they're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and they just come right out the bat, and they go, I should have started off with a sole proprietor. How can I change? How can I go back and just be a sole proprietor? Or they started off with a partner, LLC partnership, and now they're not, and now their business is changing to a single member. So these are just some real direct answers to what you need. So I just really wanted to share this really quick. I'm really excited. I don't know if I'll write another book, but I wanted to write something that was easy and for people to understand. And it is called The I's and T's of Starting a Successful Business. I hope you guys like it, enjoy it, check it out. Go to my website. You can look at the content if you have any questions, and maybe just have something that's not even related to the book at all. You can look me up at mcdonald-bookkeeping.com, and or go to my website and schedule a time that you might want to chat or talk. We can also do a live virtual, or we can speak to each other. I can answer your questions. Maybe you have some simple questions about your business that you started and you just need a little bit of direction. Then I can help you. And if it's something that I don't know, I will definitely lead you in the right direction or to the right people to help you. And make sure, if you guys have not subscribed to my podcast, the entrepreneurlifeshow.com, and we will be on tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Daylight Time. I have a really, really great guest on the show. I stream on 5 different platforms simultaneously live, as well as on 7 different podcasts simultaneously. So it's being heard all over. My guests are amazing. I think they're all just extremely amazing guests. You can look up the past guests that I have interviewed and the calendar of upcoming guests by going to entrepreneurlifeshow.com. That's entrepreneurlifeshow.com. And you will be able to check out the guests coming up and the show tomorrow. I hope I see you guys tomorrow on the live. Ask questions. Going to have a great show, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And thanks for tuning in. I hope that you guys will check out my book, check out the website, and I will see you guys on the internet. Bye.